Today, I'm going to be finding a little bit more about the house of Ormond Jayne while unboxing these two fragrances and giving my first impressions. Hello, welcome back to Seldomly Often. I'm Daniel. Today we're talking fragrances, and we're going to be unboxing two scents from Ormond Jayne. We're going to be unboxing Nawab of Oudh Intensivo and Montabaco Intensivo. These two fragrances have been highly requested by you guys in the comments, and since these have always sparked my interest, I went ahead and purchased both bottles for my Black Friday haul. They finally got here. I'm going to be unboxing them on camera, spraying them on, giving my very first impressions of these two fragrances, but also my very first impressions on the house of Ormond Jayne, because I literally have never smelled any of their fragrances. And although I have no first-hand experience with the English house of Ormond Jayne, I've read a lot about them. They are known for their high-quality fragrances with a unique twist. And what do I mean when I say unique take on fragrances? So take for example these two fragrances here. One is based on oud and one is based on tobacco. On these two notes alone, you would think that these are dense, heavy fragrances. But apparently, reading the notes and reading the reports online, these are incredibly wearable, incredibly light, and very, very elegant. Maybe your typical English style. What is curious to me is that Ormond Jayne is originally a house founded by a woman, Linda Pilkington. And what is interesting about that aspect is that most of the fragrances in the catalog of Ormond Jayne are actually marketed towards women. They have quite a bit of fragrances, I think upwards of 70 fragrances, and most of them are women's fragrances. And the men's offerings, in contrast, are actually quite limited. And I seem to remember off the top of my head that the men's fragrances are actually less than 10, and these two are part of those 10. Actually, these two are flankers to other known fragrances here. They're the Intensivo version, so technically they're the more intense, they're the more powerful versions of the Nawab of Oudh and the Montabaco. When researching Ormond Jayne, I never came to any conclusion regarding a definite type of style or a theme that ties the house together. This is an English house. It seems like a lot of the fragrances are actually Oriental themed. There's some which are named after cities in Middle East like Byzantine, I seem to remember. Also, the notes for these fragrances seem a little bit all over the place. Maybe the common theme is the lightness of wear. Maybe it's the elegance factor of these fragrances themselves. These two fragrances were perfumed by the same perfumer, Geza Schön, a German guy that I have no experience with. He is mostly known to be the perfumer for the Eccentric Molecule series, which I'm honestly not a fan of, just because that type of perfumery just doesn't work for me. He also perfumed a couple of famous Clive Christians, namely X, and the other one being 1872, I seem to recall. But yeah, looking at his work, it really doesn't resonate with me. So why did I purchase these two? Well, I'm not your typical kind of guy that is searching for very wearable, signature scent worthy type of scents, which these appear to be. But lately, I've been getting more and more into simple, elegant, refined, and complex fragrances, and I'm really hoping that these two live up to the hype. One massive thing to note about these two fragrances is that they both appear to be heavily reformulated in the recent years. These are now 88 ml bottles. Previously, they were offered in 50 ml bottles, and as far as I can hear, as far as I have read online, these two fragrances are basically the shadow of their former selves. I can't really judge fragrances based on previous formulations. I'm not the kind of guy that will seek out older formulations of fragrances just because they're better. I don't really have that type of time and resources, but hey, if I really like these, I might even go down that rabbit hole to go fish out the original versions of these two. The last thing I want to mention before opening these up is that this is not a review for these fragrances. This is an unboxing and very first impressions. So it's totally fine if I'm not gonna like these right off the bat. These might be growers on me. I'll do my best to be as open-minded and as unbiased as possible. And although I purchased these with my own money at a discount because of Black Friday, but they were still expensive, I will still be very judgmental, very critical, and if I don't like it, if I don't like something about them, I will point it out. Okay, I say we start with the Montabaco Intensivo. I'll be spraying these both on skin and also probably on my shirt here, because given the scent profile, given the lightness aspect that I'm expecting to get from these scents, they might work really well on clothes. All right, let's get this thing open here. Nice boxes, very unique looking. The color is super bright. And again, it's a unique type of fabric. They feel really luxurious in a way. Let's see how this works. This is like a sleeve thing. Yeah, very tight sleeve. Wow, okay, hang on a sec. Okay, I got the sleeve off. Very beautiful, very unique here. All right, let's see what's in the box. How does this open? All right, okay, it's from the bottom, it's magnetized. Very beautiful, very luxurious. Wow, so unique looking. Okay, so we have a little bit of a booklet. Let's see what this says. Montabaco Intensivo, it's blah, blah, blah. Okay, it says that Montabaco is a perfume to capture the essence of Latin America. Leather, suede, wood, tobacco leaf, repeated over and over again, creating a suggestive sensuality of Latino temperament. It sits above the rich floral presence of magnolia, jasmine, and rose. It is all unshamedly seductive, yet profoundly simpatico. All right, cool. It also lists the notes in here, which are apparently orange, absolute, bergamot, juniper, clary sage, and cardamom in the head. The heart has magnolia, hedione, rose, violet, and tea notes. And in the sole, here they call it the sole, tobacco leaf, isoe super, suede, sandalwood, moss, tonka, and ambergris. Now, I'm a huge fan of ambergris, so it's nice to hear that. I really like the effect that that gives in a fragrance. I wonder if it's real ambergris here. I doubt it. I have two fragrances with real ambergris, which are absolutely beautiful, and I feel that I can tell the difference there. But yeah, we'll see. And here we have it, the bottle of Montabaco Intensivo. It's pretty stuck in there. I can't get it out. All right. Okay, here we go. Box is beautiful, but tight here. Okay, here we go, the bottle of Montabaco Intensivo. Let's check out the cap here. Very beautiful, very heavy. It's friction based. Let's orient the atomizer. I like the bottle. It's simple, but it's classy. It feels high quality. It's very, very transparent. I like the sharp edges. It feels like it's cut. It's almost like a cut gem. Very pretty. I like it. Super, super classy looking. It's a little bit vintage, a little bit mature looking, but you know what? It's a nice change, and I do appreciate the effort here. Again, the cap is incredibly beautiful, and it's heavy, it's polished. Wow, looks the part, let me tell you. Okay, I guess we go ahead and spray it. I'll do 2 sprays on my arm, 2 sprays on my shirt, just to get a full range of what's going on. Let's see. Wow, gorgeous atomizer here. Pressurized, beautiful, beautiful action. Whew. Okay, this is really blasting off the skin, really blasting off the shirt. 4 sprays might have been a lot, but you know what? I have nothing to do today, and I feel like being engulfed by the fragrance. One thing to note about the presentation is that it seems to be incredibly fingerprint prone, but with a beautiful finish like this, you really can't do anything about it. It's to be expected. Okay, let's take a sniff. Okay, so I'm either immediately anosmic to the scent or I can't detect it at all. There's something about the scent that comes across as a little bit empty volume. It's very reminiscent of the Dior Sauvage EDT and even of the Initios. I'm really scared that this is one of those cases where I can't smell the bulk of the perfume. And I don't know if that's the case because again, Ormond Jayne is known to be using very high quality materials, so I doubt, also given the price, that they would inflate the perfume with ambroxan or whatever I can't smell. But the scent per se is incredibly light. It smells like a cologne. It feels like a cologne in the air. I was sort of expecting something like this, but not to this degree whatsoever. All right, on my shirt, it's a lot more detectable. It's incredibly light, incredibly airy. This might be intentional. I get a lot of dry vetiver, a lot of dry woods. There are some very airy, very transparent type of flowers in there, or maybe some herbaceousness. Again, it's a very light, very vintagey type of fragrance. It smells, once again, like a cologne. I feel that this would wear like a cologne. I'm not really sure about the actual presence and impact of this. When I first sprayed it, I got absolutely blasted by this cloud of like very astringent type of citruses and greenery. Now I can still smell it in the air, so there might be a bigger scent bubble than I'm thinking. I might be, again, slightly anosmic to this sort of scent, but it is very fresh. It's surprisingly fresh. I was expecting something a lot more denser. Even though I have read that this is a very aldehydic, very light fragrance, again, this has really surprised me. I'm not really sure if this is my thing. This is probably the furthest from something that I would go pick out and buy myself. But you know what? You need to be open-minded. I want to be open-minded. I want to be experiencing new things. Yeah, I'll be definitely giving this a lot of wear to see how it evolves, to see if I can get used to the smell, but it's not unpleasant at all. It's very, very beautiful. It's very masculine in a way, very manly. It's very cologne-y. I feel that this would work pretty much all seasons, I think, because again, it has this sort of a very wearable, perfumey type of experience. This does not bring me to Latin America as the booklet states. This does not narrate anything. It doesn't tell me a story. It doesn't transport me. But you know what? Not every fragrance has to do that. I wasn't expecting this from Ormond Jayne. I was expecting a lot more of a perfumey, wearable experience. The closest thing I actually have to something like this is Imagination by Louis Vuitton. It smells not similar, but it has a similar type of vibe and similar type of presence. It's a very, again, safe, manly fragrance to wear in pretty much every situation. This could be pretty much the ultimate office fragrance. The one thing I'm a little bit disappointed about is the incredibly faint, barely detectable tobacco note. And from a fragrance called Montabaco Intensivo at that, this is a little bit misleading. Now, but hey, maybe it's my fault. Maybe I'm subtly expecting every tobacco fragrance to smell like Royal Tobacco by Amouage with a lot of density and depth. And it is sort of unfair. I mean, this is not necessarily what I would classify as a tobacco fragrance, but maybe the more I wear it, the more the subtlety of the tobacco leaf might come out to me. But yeah, this is far from being a smoky beast. This is a very light, very beautiful, very wearable type of scent. It's okay. I'm definitely not upset about the purchase, but I'm far from being wowed and blown away by the fragrance itself. This is, again, not really my scent profile. This is going to be a chance for me to really appreciate this sort of a composition and this sort of a wear experience. I plan on wearing this a lot, actually. I'm going to go to Rome in a couple days, and this one here is probably the only one I'm going to bring to really like get into the mood and have it as my only choice and sort of like embrace it fully. Yeah, there's definitely a striking difference in potency when sprayed on shirt and on skin. The skin really absorbs a ton of those very green, very bitter type of notes. On shirt or on textile, I get a lot more projection. I get a lot more fine nuances. I can clearly detect those woods, those green notes, which are very, very beautiful. They're incredibly dry. This fragrance is really, really dry. It does lean a little bit mature, as I said. It's not really my style. It's not sweet by any stretch of the imagination. This is probably one of the driest fragrances that I've tried lately. It's really beautiful, actually. I really want to give it a chance, and I really want to be open-minded. I'm actually really curious and looking forward to wear this as my scent of the day tomorrow, to see how it evolves on skin, to see all the finite nuances of this scent, because I feel that deep down it has a lot to offer. Okay, time to experience Nawab of Oudh Intensivo. This is assumingly another one of those light fragrances, perfumed by the same guy, known for his work for eccentric molecules. I can't really stress enough how much those fragrances are not really for me. Unfortunately, I feel that a little bit of Gheza's tendencies and style that he uses for the eccentric molecule line has made it into the Montabaco Intensivo, namely that molecule type of airiness there. Now, again, I am very much open-minded. I want to like it. At least I have nothing else in my fragrance collection that smells like that, so that's good. So I'm kind of hoping that this is a little bit of a departure from that aspect. I wouldn't want two fragrances to be that airy and that light. But I guess we have to open it up, spray it to see what this is all about. Okay, let's unpackage this thing. Same sort of packaging, I won't go over it. So let me just push the sleeve out. This one is a lot looser, my God. Again, opens from the bottom, magnetic, beautiful. Little booklet here, let's check it out quickly. So the description for this is, Nawab, ruler of Oudh, is a province of central India. The perfume is inspired by the Nawabs who once ruled over it. It's a potent blend of amber and rose with soft oud edge. Yet surprisingly, not one ingredient stands out from the others. It achieves a perfume synergy that defies traditional analysis, releasing a pulsating pungency, brooding and hauntingly beautiful, a rich tapestry of fascinating depths, a jeweled veil to conceal its emotional complexity and extravagance. All right, this sounds a little bit more my speed. rose, amber, oud. I'm not really sure what type of oud will be in here. I'm not expecting anything to be incredibly dense or stinky. I feel that this would be a very refined type of oud. Let's check out the notes quickly. In the head, we have green notes, bergamot, orange, cardamom, and aldehyde. In the heart, we have rose, magnolia, orchid, pimento, bay, cinnamon, and hedione. In the soul, we have ambergris, musk, vetiver, labdanum, and oud. All right, I have to confess, I'm a little bit scared that this will be very, very light, but I guess there's nothing to do. We have to just be brave, spray it on, and really embrace what this is. Okay, let's close this up. The bottle looks identical to the one of Montabaco Intensivo. Again, very beautiful. I can't really fault it. The liquid color seems to be a little bit darker, which is encouraging. The cap is the same beautiful cap. But let's get to it. Let's spray it in the same sort of routine. 2 sprays on my skin, 2 sprays on my shirt, and see what this is all about. The atomizer, my God, is absolutely gorgeous. Holy crap. Okay, I'm actually really happy. I can easily detect the fragrance in the air. It's still very light, still very fresh, but it has a distinct type of a presence, which is very much lacking in the Montabaco Intensivo. Again, I'm not upset about the Montabaco Intensivo. It's just not my thing. I really want to get to know it, and I'm actually, again, really curious to give it full wears to really experience the whole thing. But this is a lot more my speed. The density in this is much more detectable. It has a clear oud note. It's a very refined type of oud note, which is kind of resembling the one from MFK Oud. And there's a distinct powdery rose note, which is dominating the fragrance in the air. It's absolutely gorgeous. I really like it. This one too is a lot more detectable on a shirt and on textile, so it might be a theme of Ormond Jayne. Some fragrances are actually designed to be worn on skin, namely the Nasomatto ones or the Orto Parisi. Some other ones, namely the Creed, I feel that they perform a lot better on textile. Another one that performs really good on textile, better than on skin, is Penhaligon's Sartorial, which I recently got. I feel that a lot of these English or French-inspired fragrances really work well if they're projecting off a neutral type of media. My skin eats up a lot of bitter and pungent notes, so it might kill a lot of these very airy, very light fragrances. Okay, this is super good. I really like it. I'm super happy about it. It's beautiful. It's powdery. It's actually very unisex. I wasn't expecting it to be so unisex. I was expecting a lot more of a masculine take on oud, but this is a very refined, very elegant, very subtle type of scent. The first thing that definitely hits my nose is that powdery rose aspect that I was talking about. It's beautiful, it's light pink, it's refreshing, it's invigorating. The aldehydes in here really aid that rose to give it kind of a bubble bath type of feeling. It's a little bit reminiscent of Lyric Man, the new formulation that I smelled a while back on a first impression comparison video, but this one here feels a little bit more purposeful. It feels that it's built for that purpose. It's very beautiful, it's very complex, there's a ton of nuances, there's a ton of facets in this very beautiful top note sort of rendering. These two fragrances I feel sit in the mid to top note. There's almost nothing in the base. They might dry down to something a little bit heavier, but I'm not really expecting anything from these because even the ambery and oud components in here, which actually I can easily pick up, surprisingly, because again, a lot of oud fragrances are very light and actual oud, are again, the amber and oud components are very light, they're very airy, they're very fresh. I feel that both of these fragrances would make for excellent year-round signature scents. They're absolutely beautiful. They actually complement each other very, very well. Oud Intensivo, it's a lot denser, it's a lot more detectable than Montabaco Intensivo, but this actually might have to do with the notes in the fragrance itself. The very light woods, the very light greens, the very light tobacco notes in the Montabaco Intensivo, again, I'm sure that they are intentional. In here, you can really detect the florals a lot more. Those aldehydes are so beautiful. One of the most beautiful aldehydes renditions in fragrances that I've tried lately. But the oud in here is actually the most surprising aspect to me because it's very, very detectable, yet it comes across as clean. It comes across as fresh, balsamic. It's absolutely not stinky. It's a very, very refined, very elegant oud. Actually, hang on a sec. For whatever reason, the Montabaco Intensivo has a way lower liquid content. And again, I unboxed these in front of you guys. I don't know why this is. Should I complain about this? Is this normal? Was I short-handed on the Montabaco Intensivo, or were they being generous on the Oudh Intensivo? Again, it's not too big of an issue. They're both 88 mLs. It's not too big of an issue because I'll never get through these fragrances, no matter how much I wear them, because I have so many fragrances, but still, I feel a little bit short-handed here. Yeah, this is absolutely gorgeous. I'm super happy about Oudh Intensivo. This is exactly what I was hoping this would be. It's still very light, still very airy, but beautiful, complex. This is exactly what I was hoping to get. Again, Montabaco Intensivo. Let me pick it up again. It's good. I want to really spray this again. I'm going to be wearing this as my scent of the day tomorrow. It might not be the right season for this sort of thing because, again, it's frigid cold where I live, and this might not push off the skin or off the clothes as much as needed. But yeah, this is cool. I'm happy about both of these fragrances. They're very cool purchases. The bottles are cool. I feel that they are important fragrances to either own or to sample. I like having a range of fragrances in my collection, and even stuff that doesn't necessarily blow me away off the bat is still worth experiencing. The art of perfumery is beautiful. There's so much nuance. There's so much creativity in there. And these two are a testament of a whole branch of perfumery that was completely out of my radar. You guys recommended it. I purchased it. They're very beautiful. I'm very happy that this happened. This is one of the beautiful things about this YouTube channel, the community aspect that is going on, even in the comments themselves. It's second to none. I couldn't be happier about the type of interaction I'm getting, so please keep suggesting stuff, keep commenting, keep giving your opinion, because I read every single of your comments and I really value everything that comes my way. Full reviews of these will be coming probably early next year. Montabaco Intensivo will be probably referenced a lot in the upcoming warmer months, maybe the spring, maybe summer. I'll be coming back to this a lot. I really want to see what this has to offer. I'll try to simulate a little bit of a higher temperature, maybe bring it to the gym. I do feel that this is a little bit too elegant for the gym, but hey, I don't think it will offend anyone. Nawab of Oudh Intensivo will probably get a review a little bit earlier just because it's a little bit more wearable in the colder seasons. But yeah, beautiful stuff. I'm actually super happy I got both of these. I'm really blown away by the fact that although I have smelled a ton of stuff, even the more popular fragrances out there, there's so much stuff out there still for me to discover, to experience, and to really appreciate. I hope you enjoyed this unboxing and first impression style video of a house that I've never experienced. If you found this interesting, leave a comment down below. Leave a comment for more suggestion about new houses to experiment. I'll probably do the same for other interesting things that were already on my radar. Yeah, so a lot more to come, a lot more fun things to experience. If you like this type of content, if you like my approach to video, feel free to subscribe. It's always massively appreciated and it helps the channel. If you want to interact with me, leave a comment, suggestion, opinion, or anything else down below. I always reply and I always keep the conversation open. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for your time. A lot more videos to come, unboxing, reviews, first impressions, many more video formats on the horizon. Stay tuned. See you in the next one. Cheers.